Hello, Dr. Sushma Singh this side. Today in Unit 24, Dimensions of Knowledge Society, Issues of Access and Equity. We are going to start our lecture with the topic Dimensions of Work Participation in Knowledge Economy. We have already learned that in the post-industrial information society, knowledge and information are the major sources of productivity and growth. The Economic Committee of the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation APEC extended this idea to state that in a knowledge-based economy, the production, distribution and use of knowledge is the main driver of growth, wealth creation and employment across all industries. There is a growing belief in the past few decades that the knowledge can do more than increasing economic growth. It can also lead to structural change in an economy and therefore society. Such change differs from the incremental change to which all economies are constantly subjected. NEEP states that the new products and services resulting from technology growth may bring about profound changes in the way we live and work. He argues that this economic transition is characterized by the changing nature of work from low skill to high skill. This is reflected in the rapid growth in the services sector since 1960s and in more recent trends in the goods producing sector towards employing higher skilled employees. It is important to note here that the classical theory of post-industrialism combines three statements which shows the trend in the shifting employment pattern. The source of productivity and growth lies in the generation of knowledge extended to all realm of economic activity through information processing. Economic activity would shift from goods production to services delivery. The demise of agricultural employment would be followed by the irreversible decline of manufacturing jobs to the benefit of service jobs, which would ultimately form the overwhelming proportion of the employment. The more advanced an economy, the more its employment and its production would be focused on services. The new economy would increase the importance of occupations with high information and knowledge content in their activity. Managerial, professional and technical occupations would grow faster than any other occupational position and would constitute the core of the new social structure. According to Toffler, the second wave informed an entirely new concept, the massification, in which we find mass production, mass market, mass consumption, mass religion, mass political parties, weapons of mass destruction, etc. He argues that the third wave will show a reverse trend where minorities' interest will come to the fore. The economy will be based on the productivity of knowledge work and knowledge workers. Whereas the organizations in the second wave were built around the availability of land, labor and money, the third wave company will be firmly based on development of knowledge and immediate use of technology. Hence, it is obvious that in the information age there will be a change in the economic structure where there will be a tilt towards more opening in knowledge-based economic sectors, that is service sector. The contribution of high value added manufacturing and services to the national economy is measured as one of the key indicators of the knowledge economy. This is because they are more knowledge intensive and less labor intensive. We have already seen that the revolutionizing developments in information, computer, and telecommunication technologies and its low cost and high accessibility created a marked change in the employment structure of both developed and developing economies. In knowledge societies, knowledge based service industries form a significant proportion of GDP, and there is a reliance on knowledge technologies to foster business competitiveness, economic and employment growth. This is evident if we examine the economic structure of different countries. Data shows that the agricultural workers who form the majority of the workforce till the early 20th century and the industrial workers who grew very fast in the second half of the century in the developed countries now declined to be minority in the workforce. Now the workers of the service sector are replacing these categories of workers very fast all over the world through varying degrees. For example, in Australia, agricultural workers form 5%, industrial worker 21%, and the service worker formed 74% of the total workforce. And in India, they are formed 52.43%, 10.87%, and 36.7% of the workforce in 2001. There has been an increase in the share of the service sector in the top GDP of these countries and corresponding decline of the share of the agriculture and industries. Manuel Castle roughly classified service economy into different categories. This includes producers, services, banking, insurance, real estate, engineering, accounting, miscellaneous business services, and legal services, social services, medical, health services, hospital, education, welfare, and religious services, non-profit organization, postal service, and miscellaneous social services. Distributive services, transportation, communication, and wholesale and retail services, and personal services, domestic services, hotel, eating and drinking places, repair services, laundry, beauty, barber, shopping, shop, entertainment, and miscellaneous personal services. He argues that there is a significant increase of job participation in these services in G7 countries in the past few decades. According to him, the evolution of employment during post-industrial period information shows at the same time a general pattern of shifting away from manufacturing jobs and two different paths regarding manufacturing activities. The first amount to the rapid phasing away for manufacturing coupled with the strong expansion of in producer services and in social services, which while other services activities are still kept as source of employment. A second different path more closely links manufacturing and producer services, more cautiously increases social services employment and maintains distributive services. Now let us move to the next topic, women in knowledge society. The emerging knowledge societies, which are based on global competition, progress in information technologies, and move towards knowledge-based economy pose several opportunities and challenges to women. The new job opportunities for women. The new ICT enable the work to be brought to homes and allows for better accommodation of work and family schedule, and this has created new types of job that favor women. Women have also been able to capture a large proportion of jobs in ICT enabled services. The most promising potential for women is the creation of new jobs at call centers and in work involving data processing. The ILO reports telecenters and fax booths have created a quarter of a million jobs in India in the last 4 years alone, a huge proportion of which have gone to women. By the end of 1990s, almost 5,000 women in the Caribbean countries were employed in data processing activities. The ILO report adds, in terms of number of employed, the role of women in the digital economy has become more marked in online export-oriented information processing work rather than in telecommunicating. Internationally outsourced jobs such as medical transcription work or software services do make a considerable difference in the lives and career paths of the women in developing countries. In software, women enjoy preferences on a scale that they never experienced in and any other field of the engineering and science. Women in India occupy 27% of professional jobs in the software industry, which is worth 4 billion US dollar annually. Women's share in the employment total in that industry mounted to 30% in 2001. The ICT have enabled women to tap global market for their products and raise incomes. New technologies and networking are new means by which women are empowered to improve their economic and social status. Let us see some examples. Safre Women, created by a woman in Kampala, Uganda, is an organization that supports women who have lost family members to AIDS, as well as supporting orphans created by the AIDS epidemic. The members of Safra wave traditional Uganda baskets who are then sold on the internet with the help of PeopleLink, an American-based NGO with extensive experience in online sale of handicrafts. The Grameen Bank Village Phone Project, which provides mobile cell phones to its mostly female members in Bangladesh, demonstrates not only the employment generating impact of the woman who collects fees for the usage of their mobile phones, but other positive spillover effects as well. Mobile phones and access to internet have given rural Bangladeshi women access to learning, created new jobs for autonomy, and improved their position in community and public life. These examples illustrate how technology can improve the lives of poor women by opening up opportunities they were previously excluded from. Electronic networking between women has led to new social and economic phenomena, such as e-campaigns, e-commerce, and e-consultation. The empowerment of the women via technology in this way enables them to challenge discrimination and overcome gender barriers. However, all these new avenues have been created around the contemporary development pattern of globalization. This, while creating some new opportunities for women, it also leaves negative imprints, which more competition sets in. The attention given to labor welfare decreases markedly. Moreover, the most of the newly created job opportunities are in informal sector, which provide no job security. All this compels women to work in an exploitative work atmosphere. Now let us we conclude the unit. During the second half of the 19th century, there began a great revolution in storage and communication of information. After the industrialization, society moved toward a post-industrial information age where production, dissemination, and deployment of knowledge became the base of productivity and social advancement. The evolving information knowledge society are marked by the rapid advances in science and technology, convergence of information, computer and communication technologies, the reduced cost of processing and disseminating information, and the increasing connectedness of nations. These revolutionary changes are set to transform societies into smart communities, largely through the impact of the converging new information, computer, and telecommunication technologies. This unit examines the background of the information revolution and the characteristics features of the emerging society. It also analyzes why and how knowledge becomes the basic constituents of this society. Here we want to close this lecture and we have come to the end of the unit. Thanks for so patientful listening.